Right now, as you listen to these words, your mind is choosing which version of tomorrow you will wake up to. Most people sleep and wake up in the same reality, replaying the same patterns, the same thoughts, the same version of themselves. But what if tonight could be different? What if the hours you spend unconscious could actually reshape your entire existence? Every single night, something incredible happens inside your brain. While your body rests, your subconscious mind stays awake, processing everything you experienced, everything you thought about, and everything you told yourself before closing your eyes. This isn't some mystical concept. This is real. Your subconscious doesn't judge, it doesn't argue, it simply accepts and creates. And tonight, you are going to learn how to use those precious hours before sleep to completely transform your internal world. By the time morning comes, you won't be the same person who went to bed. Here's the problem nobody talks about. You've probably tried to change before. You've set goals, made promises to yourself, tried to break bad habits or build new ones. And maybe it worked for a few days, even a few weeks, but then something happened. You fell back into the old patterns. The old you came back, and you wondered why change feels so impossible. The reason is simple, but most people miss it completely. You are trying to change from the outside in. You are trying to force your conscious mind to overpower years of subconscious programming. That's like trying to redirect a river by standing in the water and pushing against the current. The river is too strong. The current always wins. Your subconscious mind controls about 95% of your daily actions, reactions, and decisions. It's running programs that were installed years ago, maybe even in childhood. These programs decide how you respond to stress, how you see yourself, what you believe you deserve, and what you think is possible for your life. And here's the thing that most people never realize. Your conscious willpower, your determination, your motivation, all of that only controls about 5% of your behavior. So you're using 5% of your mind to fight against 95%. No wonder change feels exhausting. No wonder you keep falling back into the same patterns. You're not weak. You are not broken. You are just fighting the wrong battle in the wrong way. The gateway between worlds. There is a specific moment every single night that most people completely waste. It's the moment right before you fall asleep. That small window of time when you're no longer fully awake but not yet unconscious. Your brain waves start to slow down. Your critical thinking shuts off. Your conscious mind, the part that judges and analyzes and doubts, it steps aside, and your subconscious mind becomes incredibly receptive. Scientists call this the hypnagogic state. Ancient practitioners called it the threshold. Whatever you want to call it, this is your gateway. This is when your subconscious is listening without filters, without resistance, without the walls that normally protect old patterns and beliefs. Your mind becomes like soft clay, ready to be molded, ready to accept new impressions, ready to be shaped into whatever form you choose to give it. Think about what most people do during this precious time. They scroll through their phones, looking at other people's lives, absorbing random information, watching videos that trigger stress or comparison or fear, or they replay the worst moments of their day, replaying arguments, replaying failures, replaying everything that went wrong. They're literally programming their subconscious mind with negativity right before sleep. Then they wonder why they wake up feeling anxious, or unmotivated or stuck. They don't realize they've been training their mind every single night to expect more of the same pain, more of the same struggle, more of the same disappointment. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. It doesn't know the difference between an actual experience and a thought you repeat over and over. So every night, whatever you feed it in those final moments before sleep, that becomes the blueprint. That becomes the instruction manual your subconscious uses to create your tomorrow. It's like giving directions to someone who will build your house while you're away. Whatever plans you hand them, that's exactly what they'll build. No questions asked, no judgment, just pure execution. This is why people who constantly think about their problems before bed wake up feeling heavy. This is why people who replay their fears fall asleep stressed and wake up tired. They're not just thinking, they're programming. They're telling their subconscious exactly what kind of reality to create. And their subconscious obeys perfectly. It doesn't argue. It doesn't say, "Are you sure you want more anxiety? Are you sure you want to feel stuck again tomorrow?" It just takes the order and gets to work. Most people never make the connection between their nighttime thoughts and their morning reality. They think sleep is just rest, just downtime, just a break from consciousness. But it's so much more than that. Sleep is when your mind processes, integrates, and solidifies everything you've been thinking and feeling. It's when your beliefs get stronger or weaker depending on what you focus on. It's when your identity gets reinforced or transformed based on the story you tell yourself in those final conscious moments. Imagine if you spent just 5 minutes before sleep doing something different. Instead of scrolling or worrying, you close your eyes and breathe deeply. You let your body relax completely. You release the tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your hands, and then you start feeding your subconscious something new, something better, something aligned with who you actually want to be. You visualize yourself handling tomorrow with calm confidence. You feel gratitude for things that haven't even happened yet. You tell yourself, "I am safe, I am capable, I am exactly where I need to be right now." When you do this consistently, something remarkable starts to happen. Your subconscious stops defending the old version of you. It stops reinforcing the old patterns. Because every night you're giving it new information, new feelings, new instructions, and slowly, quietly, without you even noticing at first, it starts building a different reality. Not someday, not eventually, starting the very next morning. You wake up and something feels lighter. A thought that used to spiral into anxiety just passes by without sticking. A situation that used to overwhelm you suddenly feels manageable. You don't know exactly why, but you feel different. That's the power of this gateway moment. It's not magic, it's not wishful thinking, it's just you finally taking control of the most receptive state your mind enters every single day. You're not fighting against your subconscious anymore. You're working with it. You're speaking its language. You're planting seeds in fertile soil instead of trying to grow flowers in concrete. And when you do this, night after night, those seeds grow into something real, something tangible, something that changes not just how you think, but how you actually experience being alive. The invisible architect. While you sleep, your subconscious mind becomes an architect. It takes everything you gave it before bed and starts building. It reorganizes neural pathways. It strengthens certain connections and weakens others. It processes emotions, consolidates memories, and most importantly, it creates the mental and emotional framework for how you'll experience the next day. This isn't some abstract spiritual concept. This is literally what your brain does every single night while your body rests. This isn't opinion, this is neuroscience. Studies on sleep and memory consolidation show that your brain literally rewires itself during deep sleep stages. The thoughts and emotions you experience right before sleep get processed and integrated more deeply than thoughts you have during the busy day. Your brain treats pre-sleep information as important, as significant, as something worth incorporating into your core programming. It's like your brain is saying, okay, they were thinking about this right before shutdown, so this must be really important. Let's make sure we integrate this deeply. Let's make sure this becomes part of who they are. So imagine this. If you spend the last 10 minutes before sleep visualizing the person you want to become, feeling the emotions of already being that person, and repeating affirmations that align with your goals, your subconscious receives that as instruction. It says, okay, this is who we are now. This is what we believe. This is what we expect. And while you sleep, it starts adjusting your internal systems to match that instruction. It's not waiting for permission. It's not checking with your doubts or your fears. It's just doing its job, which is to make your internal reality match whatever you've been consistently telling it is true. Your nervous system recalibrates. Your emotional responses shift. Your automatic thoughts begin to change. You don't have to force it. You don't have to fight it. You simply plant the seed before sleep, and your subconscious does the rest. By morning, you wake up with different energy, different thoughts, different expectations. You wake up in a new timeline because your internal world has shifted. And here's what most people don't understand. Your external world always follows your internal world. Always. Not because of some mystical law of attraction, but because your perception shapes what you notice, what you focus on, what opportunities you see, and what actions you take. Most people never experience this because they never take control of that pre-sleep window. They let random thoughts, worries, and distractions fill that space, and their subconscious just keeps rebuilding the same old reality, night after night, year after year. Same patterns, same limitations, same version of themselves on repeat. They wake up and wonder why nothing ever changes, why they still feel the same way they felt 5 years ago, why their life looks exactly like it did last year. And the answer is simple. They keep giving their subconscious the same instructions every single night. Think about construction. If you hired a builder and every single day you gave them the exact same blueprints, they would build the exact same house over and over. They wouldn't suddenly decide to build something different. They would follow the plans you gave them. Your subconscious works the same way. It's incredibly loyal. It will build exactly what you tell it to build. But most people are handing it the same old blueprints every night without even realizing it. The same worries, the same fears, the same limiting beliefs. And then they're surprised when they wake up in the same life. But when you change the blueprints, everything changes. When you start feeding your subconscious new information before sleep, when you start feeling new emotions, when you start visualizing a different version of yourself, your subconscious gets new instructions. and it immediately starts building something different. Not next month, not next year, that very night. While you're unconscious, while you're completely unaware, your brain is working, it's forming new neural connections, it's weakening old pathways that no longer serve you. It's reorganizing your entire mental and emotional structure to match the new vision you gave it. This is why people who practice pre-sleep visualization and affirmation often wake up feeling mysteriously different. They can't always explain it. They just know something shifted. They feel more optimistic. They feel more energized. They feel like they can handle things that used to overwhelm them. That's not coincidence. That's not placebo. That's their subconscious doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's rebuilding them from the inside out based on the new instructions they provided. And if they keep providing those instructions every single night, the changes compound. Small shifts become massive transformations. New patterns become automatic. A completely new version of themselves emerges, not through force or willpower, but through consistent, intentional reprogramming during the most receptive state their mind enters every day. Breaking the loop of repetition, your life right now is the result of subconscious patterns running on autopilot. The way you react when someone criticizes you, the way you feel when you look in the mirror, the way you respond to challenges or opportunities. None of that is random. It's all programmed. And most of that programming happened when you were young, when your conscious mind wasn't developed enough to filter what you absorbed. You were like a sponge, taking in everything around you and accepting it as truths about yourself and about the world. You learned how to see yourself based on what people said to you, how they treated you, what you experienced. You learned what to expect from life, what you deserve, what's safe and what's dangerous. And all of that got stored deep in your subconscious. Now it runs automatically, creating the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same behaviors over and over. It's like a song stuck on repeat. You didn't choose the song, you didn't even realize it was playing, but it's been running in the background your entire life, influencing every decision, every reaction, every belief you have about what's possible for you. This is the loop. And the reason it's so hard to break is because you're trying to change it during the day when your conscious mind is weak and your subconscious is strong. But at night, the power dynamic shifts. Your conscious mind goes offline, the gatekeeper disappears, and your subconscious becomes open, ready to receive new instructions. This is the only time your subconscious is truly vulnerable to change. During the day, it's protected by years of reinforced beliefs and patterns. It has walls built around it. But at night, in that space between waking and sleeping, those walls come down. This is your opportunity. This is when you can slip past the defenses, past the old beliefs, past the resistance. You don't need to convince yourself during the day that you're confident or worthy or capable. You just need to tell your subconscious at night and let it rebuild you while you sleep. It's not about fighting yourself. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something you don't believe. It's about planting new seeds when the soil is soft, when there's no resistance, when your mind is ready to accept without questioning. Think of it like updating software. You can't update a program while it's running at full capacity. You need to shut it down, install the new version, and restart. That's what sleep does for your mind. It shuts down the old programs, installs the new instructions you gave it, and restarts you in the morning as a slightly different version. Do this every night, and the changes compound. Small shifts become big transformations. New thought patterns become automatic. New behaviors become natural. And one day you look back and realize you're not running the same loop anymore. You broke free without even noticing the exact moment it happened. Most people stay stuck because they try to change during the worst possible time. They wake up, feel anxious, and try to talk themselves out of it. They face a challenge and try to force themselves to be confident. They look in the mirror and try to convince themselves they're worthy. But their subconscious isn't listening. It's too busy running the old program, the one that's been installed for years. So their conscious effort feels exhausting. It feels like swimming against the current. And eventually, they give up. They decide change is too hard. They accept the loop as permanent. But it's not permanent. It's just been reinforced every single night by default programming. Every time you fall asleep while worrying, you reinforce the anxiety pattern. Every time you fall asleep feeling inadequate, you reinforce the unworthiness pattern. Every time you fall asleep replaying failure, you reinforce the victim pattern. Your subconscious takes those final thoughts and says, okay, noted, this is who we are, this is what we expect. Let me make sure tomorrow reflects that. But you can reverse it, starting tonight. You can break the loop by changing what happens in those final moments before sleep. You can consciously choose different thoughts, different feelings, different beliefs to hand to your subconscious. You can say, I'm done with the old program, here's the new one. I am calm, I am capable, I am constantly growing and improving. I trust myself to handle whatever comes. And when you do this with feeling, with intention, with consistency, your subconscious accepts it. Not because you forced it, not because you convinced it, but because you gave it new instructions at the exact right time when it was ready to listen. This is how you break the loop. Not through willpower, not through constant effort, but through strategic reprogramming during the most powerful window of change you have access to every single day. The moment before sleep. The gateway, the threshold, the time when your subconscious is waiting, listening, ready to build whatever version of you that you choose to become. The power of emotional imprinting. Here's something most people get wrong. They think affirmations or visualizations are about repeating words or imagining pictures. But that's only half of it. The real power comes from emotion. Your subconscious speaks the language of feeling, not logic. It doesn't care about words unless those words carry emotional weight. You can say 1,000 affirmations, repeat them every single day, write them down in a journal, stick them on your mirror, but if there's no feeling behind them, they're just empty sounds. They're like trying to communicate with someone in a language they don't understand. They might hear you, but nothing registers, nothing sticks, nothing changes. When you say something like, I am confident, but you feel nothing, your subconscious ignores it. It recognizes the emptiness. It knows you're just saying words without meaning. But when you say, I am confident, and you actually feel that confidence in your body, feel your posture shift, feel your energy rise, feel that inner certainty, now your subconscious pays attention. Now it records that feeling as real, and it starts to make it your default state. Because your subconscious doesn't respond to concepts or ideas. It responds to experiences. And emotion is what makes something feel like an experience, even if that experience only exists in your mind. This is why people who just repeat affirmations without feeling often see no results. They are speaking to their subconscious in a language it doesn't understand. They say the right words, but nothing happens. Then they get frustrated. They think affirmations don't work. They think visualization is just wishful thinking. But the problem isn't the method. The problem is they're missing the most important ingredient. They're trying to bake bread without yeast. They're trying to start a fire without spark. The words are there, but the emotion that brings those words to life is missing. But people who combine words with genuine emotion, who feel the reality of what they're affirming before it even happens, they experience rapid transformation because they're giving their subconscious clear, powerful instructions that can't be ignored. When you feel something deeply, your subconscious treats it as real. It doesn't matter if the event hasn't happened yet. It doesn't matter if logically, you're just visualizing. Your subconscious experiences that emotion as proof. It says, okay, we felt confident, so we must be confident. We felt successful, so we must be capable of success. We felt loved, so we must be worthy of love. And it starts rewiring your entire system to match that emotional reality. Before sleep, this becomes even more potent. When you're in that relaxed, drowsy state, your emotional imprints go deeper. Your defenses are down, your critical mind is quiet. Your subconscious is wide open. Whatever you feel in those final moments gets amplified. It sinks in like water into dry soil. If you feel gratitude, your subconscious absorbs that and starts looking for more things to be grateful for. It creates a filter that highlights beauty, abundance, and positive experiences in your daily life. If you feel peace, your nervous system recalibrates to that frequency. Your baseline stress level drops. Your body learns what calm feels like and starts returning to that state more easily. If you feel the excitement of your goals already being real, your subconscious starts aligning your actions and perceptions to match that reality. It makes you notice opportunities you would have missed before. It gives you courage to take steps you would have avoided. It makes decisions easier because you're already living from the feeling of having what you want, so your choices naturally align with that version of you. This isn't magic. This is just how your brain works. It moves toward whatever feels real and familiar. So when you make your desired reality feel real through emotion, your brain starts navigating toward it automatically. This is not pretending. This is not lying to yourself. This is using the natural mechanics of your mind to create change from the inside out. You are not forcing anything. You are simply choosing what to plant in your subconscious garden before the night takes over and does the growing for you. Every gardener knows you can't force a seed to grow. You just plant it in good soil, water it, give it sunlight, and trust the natural process. Your subconscious is the same. You plant the emotional seed before sleep. You water it with intention and feeling. And while you rest, the natural process of your mind takes over and grows it into something real. The key is genuine feeling, not manufactured emotion, not fake enthusiasm, but real, authentic feeling that comes from truly imagining and experiencing what you want as if it's already here. Close your eyes before sleep and don't just say the words. Feel them. Feel what it would actually be like to wake up as the person you're becoming. Feel the relief, the joy, the confidence, the peace. Let your body respond to those feelings. Let your breath deepen. Let your face relax into a natural smile. Let the emotion move through you completely. That's when your subconscious listens. That's when transformation happens. Not through repetition of empty words, but through the power of genuine emotional imprinting. At the exact moment your mind is most ready to receive it. Releasing what no longer serves you. Transformation isn't just about adding new beliefs. It's also about releasing old ones. And sleep is the perfect time for this too. Before you close your eyes, you can consciously let go of patterns that have been weighing you down. You can tell your subconscious, I release the need to control everything. I release the fear of judgment. I release the belief that I'm not enough. Most people never do this. They only focus on what they want to gain, what they want to become, what they want to achieve. But they never make space for the new by clearing out the old. They are trying to pour fresh water into a cup that's already full of mud. When you do this in that pre-sleep state, your subconscious takes it seriously. During the night, especially during REM sleep, your brain processes emotional experiences and files them away. If you consciously release something before sleep, your brain starts to detach the emotional charge from those old patterns. Memories don't disappear, but they lose their grip on you. Fears don't vanish, but they stop controlling your decisions. That painful memory from childhood is still there, but when you think about it, it no longer makes your chest tight. That fear of rejection is still present, but when it comes up, it no longer paralyzes you. The content remains, but the emotional power fades. Many people carry emotional baggage for years simply because they never consciously decided to let it go. They replay old hurts, old failures, old rejections over and over. And every time they do, especially before sleep, they reinforce those patterns. They tell their subconscious, this is important, keep this, hold on to this, and their subconscious obeys. It thinks you're holding on to these memories because they're protecting you somehow, because they're teaching you something essential, because you need them to survive. So it keeps them fresh. It keeps them charged with emotion. It makes sure you don't forget, because it thinks forgetting would be dangerous. But you can reverse this. You can say, I acknowledge what happened and I choose to release it now. I don't need to carry this anymore. When you do this with intention, with feeling, right before sleep, something shifts. The next morning, you might notice that old trigger doesn't hit as hard. That old memory doesn't bring the same pain. That old fear doesn't have the same power. Your subconscious has started to let it go, not because you forced it, but because you gave it permission and space to release. You told it clearly, we're safe now. We don't need this protection anymore. We can put this burden down. Think about how much energy you use every day carrying old pain, every grudge you hold, every regret you replay, every shame you hide from. It all takes energy, mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy. Your body holds onto stress from years ago. Your mind loops through conversations that happened months or even decades back. You're walking around carrying a backpack full of stones, and you wonder why you feel so tired, why life feels so heavy, why you can't move forward the way you want to. The weight isn't visible, but it's real, and most of it is completely unnecessary. Before sleep tonight, you can start putting those stones down one by one. You don't have to release everything at once. You don't have to forgive people who hurt you if you're not ready. You don't have to pretend the past didn't happen, but you can release the emotional charge. You can say, this happened, it was painful, and I'm choosing to stop carrying the weight of it. I'm choosing to let my body relax. I'm choosing to let my mind rest. I'm choosing to file this away as something that's over, not something that's still happening inside me every single day. When you make this choice consciously before sleep, your brain listens. It starts the filing process. It moves those memories from the active, emotionally charged part of your mind to the archived, neutral part. The information is still there if you need it, but it's no longer running in the background draining your energy. It's like closing apps on your phone that have been running for years. Suddenly everything moves faster. Suddenly you have space. Suddenly you feel lighter without even knowing exactly why. Some things you'll need to release multiple times. Old wounds don't always heal after one night, but every time you consciously choose to let go before sleep, the grip loosens a little more. The emotional intensity fades a little more. And eventually you realize you can think about that person, that event, that failure without your whole body tensing up. You can remember without reliving. You can acknowledge without drowning. That's freedom. Not pretending it never happened, but being free from the weight of carrying it everywhere you go. So tonight, before you sleep, take a few moments to release. Say it out loud or silently. I release resentment. I release guilt. I release the need to be perfect. I release the fear of not being enough. Feel the weight lifting as you say each one. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your jaw unclench. Feel your breath deepen. You are not just saying words. You are giving your subconscious permission to finally put down what it's been holding for you. And while you sleep, it will do exactly that. Building the new identity. Every single person has an identity, a story they tell themselves about who they are. I'm someone who struggles with money. I'm not good at relationships. I'm an anxious person. I'm not creative. These aren't facts. These are just stories that got repeated enough times that your subconscious accepted them as truth. And now your subconscious works hard to keep proving those stories right, because your subconscious values consistency above everything else. It wants you to be the same person you were yesterday, last week, last year. Not because it wants you to suffer, but because consistency feels safe. Change feels dangerous, even positive change. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, your subconscious will guide you towards struggle. If you see yourself as unlucky, your subconscious will filter reality to show you evidence of bad luck. It's not trying to hurt you. It's trying to keep you consistent with your identity, because consistency feels safe to the subconscious mind. It's like a thermostat set to a certain temperature. When things start to change, when you start to succeed or feel confident or break old patterns, your subconscious notices, and it tries to bring you back to the familiar temperature, the familiar version of you, even if that version is unhappy or limited. But here's the breakthrough. You can rewrite your identity, and the best time to do it is before sleep. In those final moments of the day, you can decide, this is who I am now, not who I'll try to be, not who I hope to become, who I am right now, in this moment. Because your subconscious doesn't respond to future promises. It responds to present declarations. When you say, I will be confident, your subconscious hears that as, I'm not confident now, but maybe someday. And it keeps you locked in the current identity. But when you say, I am confident, even if you don't fully believe it yet, your subconscious starts to adjust. It says, okay, if that's who we are, let me start looking for evidence of that. Let me start creating thoughts and behaviors that match. I am someone who creates value effortlessly. I am someone who attracts positive opportunities. I am someone who remains calm under pressure. I am someone who learns quickly and adapts easily. When you declare your new identity before sleep with emotion and conviction, your subconscious accepts it, and overnight it starts rebuilding your self-concept to match. It doesn't happen all at once. Your old identity doesn't disappear after one night, but small cracks start to form. Small shifts start to happen. You wake up and catch yourself thinking a thought that doesn't match the old you. You respond to a situation differently than you normally would. You make a choice that surprises you. You wake up with different automatic thoughts. You notice yourself making different choices. You will find yourself responding to situations in ways that align with your new identity, without even thinking about it. This isn't fake confidence or pretending. This is genuine transformation happening at the subconscious level, where all real change begins. Because surface level changes, the kind you force through willpower and discipline, they rarely last. They require constant effort. They feel like swimming upstream. But identity level changes, the kind that happen in your subconscious, they're effortless. They feel natural. They stick. The old identity doesn't disappear instantly. It lingers. But every night you reinforce the new identity, the old one fades a little more. Within weeks, you look back and realize you are not the same person anymore. Your thoughts are different. Your energy is different. Your entire approach to life has shifted. And it all started with those few intentional minutes before sleep. People around you will start noticing. They won't be able to put their finger on it, but they'll sense something different about you. You seem more grounded, more sure of yourself, more at peace, and they'll ask what changed. But you'll know, it wasn't one big moment. It wasn't a dramatic event. It was a quiet, consistent reprogramming that happened while the world slept. This is how you become someone new, not by trying harder during the day, not by forcing yourself to act differently, but by telling your subconscious who you are before sleep and letting it rebuild you from the inside out while you rest. Every night is a chance to declare your new identity. Every morning is a chance to wake up as that person. Not perfectly, not completely, but a little bit more each day. Until one day you realize the old story is gone. The old identity has been completely replaced. And the person you always wanted to be is no longer a goal. It's just who you are now, naturally, automatically, without any effort at all. Because your subconscious has accepted the new identity as truth, and it's now working just as hard to prove that story right as it once worked to prove the old story right. Building the new identity. Every single person has an identity, a story they tell themselves about who they are. I'm someone who struggles with money. I'm not good at relationships. I'm an anxious person. I'm not creative. These aren't facts. These are just stories that got repeated enough times that your subconscious accepted them as truth. And now your subconscious works hard to keep proving those stories right. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, your subconscious will guide you towards struggle. If you see yourself as unlucky, your subconscious will filter reality to show you evidence of bad luck. It's not trying to hurt you, it's trying to keep you consistent with your identity, because consistency feels safe to the subconscious mind. But here's the breakthrough: you can rewrite your identity, and the best time to do it is before sleep. In those final moments of the day, you can decide, this is who I am now, not who I'll try to be, not who I hope to become, who I am right now, in this moment. I am someone who creates value effortlessly. I am someone who attracts positive opportunities. I am someone who remains calm under pressure. I am someone who learns quickly and adapts easily. When you declare your new identity before sleep, with emotion and conviction, your subconscious accepts it, and overnight it starts rebuilding your self-concept to match. You'll wake up with different automatic thoughts. You'll notice yourself making different choices. You'll find yourself responding to situations in ways that align with your new identity, without even thinking about it. This isn't fake confidence or pretending. This is genuine transformation happening at the subconscious level, where all real change begins. The old identity doesn't disappear instantly. It lingers. But every night you reinforce the new identity, the old one fades a little more. Within weeks, you look back and realize you're not the same person anymore. Your thoughts are different. Your energy is different. Your entire approach to life has shifted. And it all started with those few intentional minutes before sleep. The ripple effect into your waking life. When you transform your subconscious, everything changes. Your relationships improve because you're no longer reacting from old wounds. Your work improves because you're no longer sabotaging yourself with limiting beliefs. Your health improves because you're no longer holding on to stress and negativity that create tension in your body. People around you will notice. They won't be able to explain it, but they'll sense something different about you. You'll seem calmer, more centered, more confident. Opportunities that never appeared before will start showing up. Not because the world changed, but because your perception changed. Your subconscious is now filtering reality through a different lens, one that sees possibilities instead of problems. This is the ripple effect. One small practice before bed, repeated consistently, creates waves that touch every area of your life. You're not just changing your thoughts, you're changing your entire operating system. And when your operating system changes, everything you create and experience changes with it. Some people wait for external circumstances to change before they feel better. They wait for the perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect body, but transformation doesn't work that way. External circumstances are reflections of your internal state. Change the inside, and the outside has no choice but to follow. Your practice starting tonight. So here's what you do tonight. About 10 to 15 minutes before you plan to sleep, turn off all screens. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and let your body relax completely. Feel the tension leaving your muscles. Feel your mind starting to quiet down. Now, think about the version of yourself you want to become. Not someday, right now. See yourself already being that person. How do you carry yourself? How do you speak? How do you handle challenges? How do you feel inside? Let yourself feel those feelings as if they're already real. Let gratitude, confidence, peace, or whatever emotion aligns with your new identity to fill your entire body. Then speak to your subconscious. You can do this silently or whisper it out loud. Say things like, I release all fear and doubt. I am exactly where I need to be. I trust the process of my transformation. I am becoming stronger, wiser, and more aligned every single day. I wake up tomorrow in a new timeline, one where I am fully capable of creating the life I desire. Feel every word. Don't rush. Let each statement sink deep into your mind. Your subconscious is listening. It's absorbing. It's accepting. You're planting seeds that will grow while you sleep. Do this every single night. Make it non-negotiable. This is your time to reprogram, to release, to rebuild. Some nights it will feel powerful. Some nights it will feel subtle. It doesn't matter. Trust the process. Your subconscious is always working, always listening, always creating based on what you give it. Within days, you'll notice small shifts. Thoughts that used to bother you won't have the same effect. Situations that used to trigger you will feel manageable. Within weeks, you'll see bigger changes. Your habits will shift, your energy will shift, your entire life will start moving in a new direction. And within months, you look back and realize you're living in a completely different reality than you were before. Not because the world changed, because you changed from the inside out, at the deepest possible level. Tonight is not just another night, it's an opportunity. Every single time you close your eyes, you have the chance to become someone new. Your subconscious mind is the most powerful tool you have, and it's waiting for your instructions. Stop wasting those final moments before sleep on worry, stress, or distractions. Use them intentionally. Use them to plant the seeds of the person you're becoming. You don't need to change everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Every night, give your subconscious something positive, something powerful, something aligned with the life you truly want. Let it work while you sleep. Let it rebuild your thoughts, your beliefs, your identity. Trust that by morning you will wake up different. Maybe just a little, but a little every single day becomes everything over time. The timeline you wake up in tomorrow depends entirely on what you do tonight. Choose wisely. Speak to your subconscious with clarity and emotion. Release what doesn't serve you. Embrace who you are becoming. And watch as your entire reality shifts to match the transformation happening deep within you. If this resonated with you, subscribe so you don't miss the next one.